I want to ask you about your position on Measure L, which is the measure to earmark a certain percentage of property tax revenues for the libraries and have the libraries pay a greater share of the costs of operating the libraries. So we'll go from Mr. O'Grady first again this time, and Mr. Bach second, and Mr. Labange third for this question. Mr. O'Grady, Measure L.
Thank you. Measure L is a result of this letter. This is a letter that the Greater Griffith Park Neighborhood Council wrote to the City Council back in September. I worked with Martin Gomez and Rod Romer, and we identified the money that was needed to reopen the libraries for 2 days a week. Of course, it had all kinds of cost savings in here, like cutting council members' salaries, cutting council staff, cutting cell phones, all kinds of wasted stuff. We found the $8 million. The result, the City Council introduced Measure L, which is an unfunded measure. I am supporting Measure L, of course, because I love libraries, and we need our libraries open 7 days a week. They're the cheapest product the government delivers right now today. However, the problem is we need somebody on City Council who's actually going to fund this measure, and I'm going to fund this measure by finding waste. I'm glad to see that Wendy Grew has joined me today. She's cutting out cell phones for 60% of our workforce with a savings of $5 million. So I'm going to be focused on cutting out all the waste so we can pay for this measure. And I just wish the City Council would just listen to our letter. We could have saved ourselves all this money to put this measure on the ballot, and we could have libraries open again 7 days a week. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, Measure L is on the ballot because our City Council abdicated on its responsibility. They always had the authority to fund the libraries, and they didn't. And they kicked it to the people. And here's the best part, and I'm voting yes on Measure L. I'm a big fan of libraries. But buried in this measure is small print that says we're going to enhance cost recovery. So the commitment will be approximately an increase of $50 million to the budget for the libraries. At the same time, there's small print that says we're going to charge them $49 million approximately in cost recovery for maintenance, for power, water, for pension and health. These are cost recovery charges that are only being applied to two departments, libraries and rec and parks. And so what we do is we create the illusion that we're giving the library system something, and then the small print takes it back. So I'm voting yes on Measure L, and the first thing I'll do when elected is make sure the small print of cost recovery is removed so that we don't at the same time take that money back. It's disgraceful, it's an abdication of responsibility, and it's what you're getting from your City Council. Thank you.
No disrespect to either gentleman, but they're both hanging out in the fiction section, not the non-fiction section. Okay? 1925, when we formed this city's charter, we said we're going to set aside for parks. We're going to set aside for libraries because it's a challenge, and we needed that commitment out of the race. Out of the race as this city grew. We said we must fund our parks through an annual percentage of the general fund. And in 1999, in the charter reform, we enhanced that. We enhanced it, then we do it again. Because we needed that commitment. Now, this time, because of the challenge, working with Mr. Gomez, working with others, the Library Guild, working with the Library Foundation, in a collaboration, because that's how Tom Labange has always worked. Bernard Parks, we came up with Measure L. And I think if you roll back the tape to other forums in Silver Lake, and I know Rusty Millard is here, both these gentlemen did not support Measure L then. So I'm glad they got to the library and they were informed on it to know it's very important. Two things. Vote yes on L for Measure L and vote yes on Labange for councilman. Thank you.